this is a good football team across the board. One of their kickers got hurt in camp, but punter's a good player. He's got a big average, so again, it's almost a mirror image of what we saw last week from a veteran, knowledge, experience standpoint. Different in some of the schemes that they run, but very, very experienced, very confident group, and they'll be confident coming in here. We had a tough fight with them last year. They were up, turned the ball over, did not play well defensively early, and then did a great job in the second half, coming back and winning the game. So looking forward to it. Going to be a great matchup, and we're going to have to play a lot better than we've played last week. Any questions?
You faced a lot of packed-in looks against both Georgia and NC State. Is that helpful to have sort of seen a lot of that, or is there not a lot of similarity between those?
No, I mean, you get some bunch sets and things like that. You got to learn how to play those things. So, anytime you get experience at something, it's helpful.
Dabo, with E.J. Williams and not getting many opportunities, does it have anything to do with his thumb, or is the ball just not?
Just hadn't had any opportunities. That's a disappointing thing. He's an incredibly talented player, and just been hard to get him the ball.
Coach, is that something you're working on right now with DJ on trying to help him see the field more, spread the ball out more, and target some of those skilled position players outside of primarily, say, Ross last week?
Yeah, it's not as simple as that. But we definitely want to get the ball to our playmakers, but the ball's going to go where it's designed to go, and what they give you. They take a lot of things away, but we got to do a better job in every area. That's one of them.
What stands out to you about Hafley as a schemer, not just from last year, but also against Ohio State in 19?
They're simple in what they do. They just believe in it, and they're really good at it. They got a scheme. They believe in it, and they execute it very, very well. They're great fundamentally. Do a great job with their eyes. They understand where their stress points are, and again, just very well coached. And again, we've been against them several times, going back to Ohio State, but it's what they do, and the guys understand all the nuances of it.
Dabo, I think you said last night y'all are going back to camp and really focusing on the fundamentals and stuff. Can you just expand?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, sometimes to make progress, you got to go backwards, and we're not going to make progress if we don't get better fundamentally. We're not going to make progress if we don't have more discipline. Pre-snap penalties, post-snap penalties, ball security. The basics. You got to be better at the basics before you're going to get better at anything else.
Coach, do you have anyone that you reach out to, maybe a mentor, just to talk about maybe a tough loss, or even to vent, or just to ask for any sort of help in the whole coaching round?
Oh, I talk to lots of people. Fortunately, I got a lot of people that reach out to me. I get plenty of advice. No, man, ain't no funeral around here. We're all right. We'll be just fine. I know what the problems are. I don't need to call anybody to know somebody tell me what the issue is. I know what the issue is. But I have, lots of friends in the business, but just spend time with the people here. And, we all know where we are and how we got here and what we got to do, and, keep moving forward. It's not complicated. It's very simple, actually. But simple things lead to big things. And until we get great at the details, not going to get it turned around.
In terms of going back to the fundamentals, are there certain things that are just jumping out at you when you watch the film for the first 4 games on either side?
Yeah. Fundamentals, technique, discipline, ball security, missed assignments, the basics. Those are the things that jump out. Those are the things that beat you. It's the difference. I mean, nobody wants to hear it, but the reality is we're literally 2 or 3 plays or 2 or 3 less mistakes from being 4-0. And we wouldn't really be much better of a team, but y'all be asking me different questions. You know, we lost to Georgia on a pick 6. We went on the road and lost in double overtime and man, stunk it up in so many ways and still got a chance to win the game in double overtime on the road. It's not that far, as I say, from the penthouse to the outhouse, and it ain't that far from the outhouse to penthouse. You know, but it's simple. It's not complicated.
Coach, in this situation, then, how important is it to have senior leaders who have had great success to maybe navigate this point in the season, a little bit of adversity your way right now?
Well, we got a great group. I love this team. I mean, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but this will be one of my favorite teams. I love this group. It's a great group of young people, man. You know, we just got to teach them and grow them up. And, you know, we're young and inexperienced in some spots and not as far along as we need to be in some others. And, you know, got a bunch of injuries, you know. We lost Taquan and Dietrich and John Williams. We lost Landon Zanders. We've lost Tyler Davis and Shipley and Brian Brzee. I mean, we've got, you know, a lot of challenges, but everybody has those things. But as far as the group of people, man, it's a great group. So, I mean, it's unusual. I mean, it's been a long time. Our seniors haven't been in a situation like this. Skowski's never been in a situation like this. I mean, we've lost a game. I mean, you lose a playoff game. I mean, that ain't no adversity. Come on. I mean, 2-2 at Clemson, that's a different experience. And there's nobody on this team that's experienced that. But, again, sometimes you got to go backwards to make progress. And this is a great opportunity. You know, it's one of the best opportunities we've had as coaches and also as some of these senior leaders to teach and to grow. I mean, that's how I've always lived my life. You know, I just laugh. People act like we've never had any adversity around here. This program was built from adversity. It was built through adversity. And, I mean, we're just in a little rough patch right here, but man, we've had so much success. It's unbelievable. You know, you got to take the good with the bad. And, you know, this ain't all bad. We'll be fine. We got a great group of people who care and talented. And when you have that, you'll work your way out of it if you made the right stuff. And we are. You know, we'll be fine. But everybody has moments. Everybody has bad days. Everybody can have a bad game or whatever it is. You know, but it's how you respond. It's how you move forward, and that's what winners do. And we got a bunch of winners on this team. And you know, it's disappointing when you don't achieve what you set out to achieve. You're not where you want to be, but what are you gonna do about it? That's what separates people. And you know, we've always responded. And again, that's what I told our team. That's why people storm the fields when we get beat, because we've always responded. You know, when we were 2-3 in 2009 and season was over, we went on and won the division and went to Tampa and played for the championship. Grace, you weren't around here then. You were nowhere to be found. You know, a lot of y'all been on a bunch of great bowl trips and playoff trips, and y'all been around a bunch of, you know, because y'all are the media covering Clemson. You know, hey, it just comes with the territory. You know, you got to take the good with the bad, and you know, 2010 we won 6 games. And man, I'll never make it here. I'll never be successful as a coach here. 2011, boy, we started out 8-0. I remember that very well. You know, but there's a saying, they remember November, right? They didn't. Unfortunately, we didn't get a trophy at 8-0, and we went 2-4 to finish, and gave up 70 in the bowl game. And we just kind of kept going. 2012, we went 11-2. 2013, we got embarrassed by Florida State. Lost to South Carolina for the 5th time in a row. We've had some adversity around here, but we just kept going, kept learning, kept getting better, kept responding. In 2014, man, we lose at Georgia, and we lose in overtime at Florida State. Y'all remember that? Larry, I know you remember that. 1st and goal on the 6-inch line, and we ended up punting. You remember that? Now, that's some adversity. I've been there. Double overtime loss at Notre Dame last year, painful. Storming the field at Notre Dame in a pandemic. That's what it means to beat Clemson, because that's what's been built here. Because we've always responded. And we'll do the same thing. This is just another opportunity for us to reinstill some things and grow some young people up and teach. And sometimes there's lessons that when you lose that you can't teach when you win. And so it's a unique opportunity for us as leaders to respond. And we got great people, man, and this will make us better. We all get pruned in life from time to time, right? Yard man comes by, prunes the bushes back. I'm like, what the heck they do to my bushes? They cut them all, and then you look up and they've come back. That's life. That's the way it is. In 2014 again, and I'll never forget that Florida State game. I mean, how did we lose the game? It was unbelievable, the stuff that happened in that game. We were 1-2, but they didn't cancel the season in September. Thank God. I mean, if the season was over, everybody had 2 losses, there'd only be like 60 teams get to play football this weekend. That'd be all that'd be left. It wouldn't even. That's all. September is stunk. It didn't go the way we wanted to, but we got we got an 8-game season, and we got to go try to make it the very best we can. Starting this weekend, try to find a way to win a game, and get to an open date. Try to get some guys healthy and come back and battle again, and keep learning, keep growing. We got an unbelievable young group of talented people on this team that are developing into something special. And again, 2014, we were sitting there 1-2 and miserable, everybody mad, and then your best player tears an ACL. Hey, we went on and went 10-3 and had one of the best postseason wins we've had in school history against Oklahoma. That's just how I think. My perspective comes from my experience and from my past. And I think perspective is something that a lot of people don't have outside of this building. But I do. And it's my job to make sure that our players do and that we keep working to get better. Same thing with our staff. And that's what we're going to do. That's what winners do. That's what we've always done. And that's what we'll continue to do. So got a lot of ball left to be played and excited about it.
Yeah, but last night, Saban was on with the Mannings during Monday Night Football. He was talking about his defense this year compared to last, saying how much more he can do this year because last year they didn't have much experience, and he said we had a really young group on defense, so we had to stay simple because we had a lot of mental errors. In your mind, is that really pretty applicable to what's going on right now with your offense?
Oh, there's no question about it. Ain't no doubt about it. There's a lot of things you'd like to do, but we just, we got to get the little things right. We got to get the little things right, and we're very inconsistent when it comes to having 11 guys getting the little things right. And that's my job to get them better. It ain't those kids' fault. Their effort, their will to win is special. I mean, if you took the stat line and flipped it from that game the other night, and that was Clemson, most teams would fold up, but not our guys. Somehow, some way, we got a chance to win a ball game, and that's a special quality. That will. You're talking about 40 minutes to 18 minutes, and can't get off the field on third down, can't stay on the field on third down, 13 penalties, and it's double overtime on the road. Man, that's some toughness right there now. That's some grit. That's some will to win. That's special. So we got all the big stuff. We got talent. We got great people. We got a lot of character, but we're just not where we need to be, from a fundamental standpoint, detail standpoint, and we got to get that right first, because none of the rest of it matters until you get that stuff right. But we will.
I know Georgia and NC State were both pretty stout up front, but when you look at Boston College's offensive front, it looks like they kind of have 5 NFL prospects.
Like I said, they're all starters. They got all ACC guys back. They got a couple of preseason All-American dudes. I mean, they're massive. And when you got guys that have played a lot of football, they know all the nuances. The ins and the outs, and they're crafty. That's what comes with experience. There's a lot you can do with people that almost like coaches out there. It's kind of like where we are defensively right now. We can do a lot with those guys. When you got Skowskis and Spectors and some of those guys that we got, Nolan Turner, there's a lot of things you can do. But yeah, they're a really, really cohesive unit, and downhill. So we got a big challenge. Gonna be a big challenge. And again, you got no Brzee, you got no Tyler Davis. What an opportunity for some of those other guys to see what they're made of, because they'll be tested.
I guess when you look at Trey and Rook and then even the guys behind them now, ET and Peyton Page, I mean, what have you seen from them in the first few weeks?
They've all gotten better. Obviously Rook has gotten some great experience. Trey's had his moments. He's a little undisciplined at times. A first-year player, didn't really get to play last year. He's one of those guys that's incredibly active, and you see him a lot, but he's not always in the right spot, and can be undisciplined with his eyes and things like that. So he's still becoming a more disciplined guy within the scheme. But as far as just being disruptive and all that, he's a natural. Peyton Page is getting better and better. He's still a true freshman, and he's got a lot to learn, especially when you're going against a team like this. But I'm really pleased with ET. I mean, I think he's making a move. He's making some good steps forward, and he's quietly, even last week, really started to show some good signs in the last couple weeks. So he's a guy that I'm very encouraged, and this is, it's disappointing you don't have a Tyler Davis or a Brzee. These are two the best players in the nation. But moving forward, the experience that we're getting with these guys, because those guys will be back next year, that's going to pay off for us. For a guy like E.T., because he's just not played a lot of football. He played 2 years of high school football, and he's been hurt. He's had all kind of issues since he's been here, and so he's finally now healthy, but then getting the opportunity. And now, with injuries, he's taking advantage of it. So I'm encouraged with E.T. I'm excited to see how he's going to develop, the rest of the season.
I guess when you look at the running back room now, do you lean heavily on Kobe, or do you feel like Moffa's a guy who can take a significant?
Oh no, Moffa can play. We love Moffa. We just know there's only so many touches, and that's kind of where we were. We were going to try to hold him, but we got to cut him loose and rock and roll. We started out our number at running backs 5. We try to always have 5 on scholarship here, and we had 6 to start the season. Now we got 4, but we got more than most people. We got 4 guys, and so kind of like E.T., it's an opportunity for Mikey Dukes, who's one of the best athletes on this team, but just a guy that's never really he's just a sophomore, but he hasn't really taken the step yet, just where he's detailed and consistent day in and day out at all the little things. That's really kind of what's held him back. And that's why he's kind of been where he is now, athletically, physically. He's gifted, but he's maybe this is an opportunity that he's gonna step up and take advantage of. So because he's gonna get a chance, so we'll see. And then obviously Rencher is a steady guy that we trust, but Moffa's a great young talent. Again, we were hoping that we could create a little separation there, but probably won't be the case.
What is your assessment of DJ's throwing mechanics and footwork 4 games in?
Inconsistent. Just inconsistent. He's just not what he needs to be, not what he can be, not what he will be. At times, really good. Wow. And then at times you go, dadgummit. So inconsistent.
Is he just kind of conditioned to rely on the big arm and get away.
No. I mean, you go back and watch this game from last year. He was unbelievable in this game last year. I mean, you watch this tape. I mean, he was special in this game. So he can do it. It's just putting it all together, and you know, we got to be better around him. It's not just DJ. You know, sometimes I think he gets to trying to do too much, and it's kind of been a weird deal, weird start, and you get yourself in some bad habits and things like that. But just inconsistent. He's done some really, really good things. He's made some plays that you just go, holy cow, there ain't many people on the planet that can make that play. But then some of the basics, you know, we need him to be better. The fundamentals, same thing. The layups, like let's make the layups like all the time, and then we'll worry about the three-point line, right? You know, so go out and play basketball, what's the first thing you do? You get the old layup line going, right? Isn't that right, Qualk? You don't just go out there and start jacking threes. And well, but, you know, you warm up with some layups. So, you know, but you got to get that down. And so that's kind of where he is right now. He's one of the most talented kids we've ever had come through this program, and he's going to be unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's doing a lot of good things. He's just inconsistent. And just like pretty much most everybody else on the offense. It's kind of where we are right now, so we got to work through that.
You know, it seemed like DJ in the overtime seemed more confident than he did at really any point in the game. Did you see that also?
Yeah, that's what I love about him. You know, I mean, it can be bad, but he just keeps going. Like he's got some special stuff inside him, man. I mean, he just keeps rolling. He did that in the Georgia game. You know, I mean, his last quarter and 5 minutes or so was really, really good. And that's not always the case with quarterbacks. You know, a lot of guys, things aren't good, things are bad or whatever. It gets worse. But and I think that's a great sign, you know, to him. Again, young player, and, you know, just working through the development process. And, you know, as a coach, you wish you could snap your fingers and it'd be the way you want it, but, you know, it's not. But I wouldn't trade him. I mean, he's going to be a great one. But he's just got to be more consistent. He knows that. But, you know, let's don't just focus on the bad. And, again, it's not just him. It's everybody around him. And it's us as coaches, too. It's everybody. And, you know, but he's just got to – this will pay dividends for him. Kid's got a bright future, no doubt about it. But just being consistent with the little things, and the big things will happen.
Dabo, Tony was talking yesterday about hitting layups in the running game as well.
Yeah.
Do you think that's more running backs finding holes, or?
It's just running backs running the wrong. You know, I mean, just some. You know, again, Kobe's a first-year player. You know, it's a combination of everything. It's decision making. It's running the right tracks. I mean, we got guys, we're running the counter, and, you know, we run backside of the counter. You know, it's just basic stuff. And then we do everything right, and we turn a guy loose up front. We don't come off on the backer. You know, it's just been a combination of things. And, again, we got a lot of new moving pieces. And, you know, I'm frustrated because we should be better. And it just hasn't translated to the game like we want. And then you turn the ball over, critical mistakes there, critical penalties, and next thing you know, you're not in rhythm, and you start pressing, and it's just, you know, it's a frustrating thing. But once it comes together, it's going to be good because we got the right people. We got great people. No doubt about that. I mean, we got some guys that, you know, I wish it was 3 guys that are out. I wish we had them, but, you know, we don't. But I like the people. We got to get better. We got to get them better. A lot of work to do. But even where we've been right there. You know, one play, one less mistake. You know, and so, you know, you love the fight of your guys. You love the will to win that you see in your team and your staff. And as long as we keep that, you know, we'll find a way to win a game again. not lose it.
Yeah, but you made the change with Paul at their left guard. Are there any other, are you considering any other changes?
Man, we're considering everything. You got any eligibility left? Yeah, we're considering everything. There ain't nothing we ain't considering because we're just not very good right now. And again, I promise you, people hadn't forgot football around here. We've been really, really good, but we got a challenge on our hand. But we'll get it right, and yeah, we're trying everything. And let's don't forget about old Marcus Tate. He'll be as good as we've had come through here. I remember 2010. We lost 5 games by 6 points or less, and I think we were 57% in field goals. That's kind of how we were. We were going to have to kind of win, move the ball, kick some field goals, and we were 57%. And if we're 70%, we're still last in percentage, but we probably win 2 or 3 more games. You know what? But old Chandler Catanzaro, as bad as he was, he left here as the best ever. And that's where we are. He left here as the leading scorer in school history. But, man, that was a rough patch right there. That was a rough patch. We couldn't make a kick to save our life. And, we got some kids that are kind of in that situation right now, that when it's all said and done and the story is done and they're written and, the date is on the other end of the dash and they're out of here, they're going to leave their mark. A kid like Marcus Tate, he'll be as good as we've had roll through here. He's going to be a great one. Same thing with T.O. and all those guys and young bucks that are trying to get their noses bloodied a little bit in the meeting rooms, on the practice field, on game day. They're going to get better. It's just all part of our journey right now.
Is Tate still repping in guard, or is he a tackle now?
Who's that?
Tate, is he still?
He reps everywhere. He plays tackle and guard. He's done that. He's repped tackle and guard since he got here. But he'll be back in there somewhere along the way. Rayburn got in there. T.O., they both got in there. So we just keep working. Keep working. Keep showing up. We ain't quitting yet, Alexis. We're going to hang in there.
Played Foster inside at tackle
Yep.
some, it looked like. Is that
Yep.
long-term, or was that contingency because of Brzez's absence on Saturday?
Well, it was kind of, passing situation, give us another just pass rusher in there, experienced pass rusher, going in there at 3 technique. I mean, it's different, but he's played enough ball and he's heavy-handed enough to where he really understands the scheme, gap control and rush integrity and all that stuff. So it's really a result of that. Tyler being out, it wasn't Brian getting hurt. Brian was, that was a plan going into the game, and it was really just a result of TD being out for a while and just giving us one more pass rush guy. I mean, we're really blessed, with the guys we have at the end. So just trying to use our personnel the best we can.
Anything from anybody on Zoom? All right, no additional questions.
All right.
We'll wrap up. Thank you, Coach.
All right, see y'all.